you a puppy? Are you a puppy? You're a puppy. You're a cat. Yeah, you're a cat. So. Basically what happened was that I was almost at the town. And I'm walking. Now I'm not like, I'm not walking, swaggering. I'm walking with like hip pain. Like right there, hip pain. Can you see that? Like right there. Hip pain. And it goes down the front part and a little bit down the back, a little bit of sciatica. So I'm having to walk, with a bit of swagger. As Americans do. Not always. But, swagger. So I'm walking, and I know I'm in pain. My feet hurt. Actually, my feet are good, but like the toes, just the tips, because there wasn't enough padding at the front of the shoe. And I'm kind of swaggering and stuff, and I almost get to the town, and one of the cars pulls over past me. And this young dude, probably in his 20s, gets out and he's like, in French, basically, asking if I needed a ride somewhere, if I needed to be dropped off somewhere. And I was like, oh, once I finally understood him, because it was a little bit far, another car passing, couldn't hear. But it was so sweet. Because, I'm going that way. He's going that way. I'm like, sorry, I'm going off to get my groceries, but I appreciate, because it is so rare on country roads to get any kind of ride. And so, I appreciate it. Totally wrong direction. But like, I'm feeling, kind of, my bag was slightly more, full up and stuff like that. So it's more, like this. And I got the water bottle there. And I'm walking with a purpose, because I know my environment. I know I got to pay attention to the cars, what's coming around. Am I going to have to step on the side and actually get off the road? And I stepped in an ortiz. It got my foot. Stinging nettle. Yes, short one. Word of wisdom to anyone who drives. Okay, if you are on a road and there's no sidewalk, move over. Now, if you can't move over because there's an oncoming car, slow down. Because, see, just because there is a strip of grass. Now, in the States, you have a strip of grass. Okay? Usually mowed over, not always. But it's grass. No. I mean, like, even in the States, you tend to have, like, the line, strip of pavement for the road, tar, whatever, and then grass. No. We don't have that here. Okay? It's road. And road is really tiny. Like, even for a bus, the school buses, the big flat face, like monster buses, it's tiny, and they should be really driving more in the center of the road. And there's no safe zone on the side. There's virtually nowhere to park either. So if you get into trouble, you're kind of hosed. And sometimes they even have these deep these deep ditches for drainage and stuff like that. Okay, so if you're in a country section where it ain't grass and there's no little side area that's really easy for, humans to walk on, do not force them to walk in the grass. The reason being is because there's no guarantee that just because it looks flat, just because it's been cut flat, does not mean that it actually is. So you're more likely to turn your ankle, and fall into traffic and get run over. Or in my case, I spent, the last hour and a half, 2 hours with pain that feels like a needle going into the side of my foot because of a stinging nettle. And they were actually trimmed really low, so that's helpful. Usually they get to about this high. I'm like, I ain't stepping in that. There's snakes. I don't know what else is out there. And I've had areas that look flat before, and it was like, no, it looks flat. It ain't flat. But I'm walking, kind of like with a little bit of swagger, because I'm used to walking in downtown cities where you got to look like you're not a victim. Okay, you got to look like you know where you're going. You know, you got to, know how your bag is going. You got to know what's around you and stuff like that. And so I'm constantly hearing, okay, I may be looking forward with my face. My eyes are looking over there. I've got the peripheral vision over there. My vision's there. My peripheral's over there. I got hearing behind me as well as hearing going in front. Maxed out senses. And that's a tractor of some sort. Itty bitty one. But, typically when I'm dressed like this and I'm walking with my hat and stuff like that, and I got my, backpack and stuff, I'm kind of feeling like Sarah Connor. What kind of mission am I on? How do I have to, tolerate? Because there's no guarantee that the cars will actually move over or slow down, even if there is room and there's nobody else coming. And some people, they'll on purpose try to run you over. I've had that happen before, and I've bitched a lot of people out. I don't take that. If there is anyone in, that watches this, if at any point you want to make j'existe, bouge ton cul, bouge ton cul. Yeah, bouge ton cul, partage la rue. I exist, move your ass, share the road. Rhymes better in French if I can actually pronounce it, but I'm tired. But yeah, so yeah, I would love to have a shirt that says, I exist, move your ass over, roughly translated, share the road. It'd be lovely. It'd be lovely to have one on the back too, that, that way, especially in that, fluorescent color for at nighttime when lights and stuff. Because if I got to make that walk again and it gets darker, because it's going to get darker. And that's a long distance. So, but I'm the first thought out of my head is like, oh, can't really see my face. That's fine. But I must be rocking the curves. I've lost weight, and these jeans, oh my God, I love these jeans. Over 20 years old. I've had these since at least when I was waitressing when my middle son was 3, at least. And he's going to turn 22. So these are old. And I don't care if they got paint stains. I don't care if they got stains that will never come out anymore. And I like how they do my butt. I do. So I'm feeling like yeah. I hurt. Just because you can walk and you can look like you know what you're doing, I hurt. Oh my God. But I got a ride home. It was awesome. I couldn't buy as much as I needed, and the lady who checked me out, she gave me a sheet of paper. She gave me a sheet of paper explaining that there's a group in the area that does, some sort of food delivery, which is great because virtually nothing does, and this is new, which is why I'm unaware of it. And so that helps. But then I get into the parking lot, and I had this bag, plus I had one of those rectangular freezer bags, and it has like a shoulder strap as well as the 2 handles. So I knew that if I put the shoulder strap on, carried it on one hip, carried this, on my back, I'm fine. And I'm just loading up, and I got the bags and stuff like that. I turn around, and the lady at the car right over here is turning around too. She's putting her cart away, and I'm like, and she recognizes me, and it's one of my favorite people. And it's the secretary from the local town hall. And when I speak French, I can't, I don't have the polite words. I don't have them. I didn't get to learn those. And I don't have all the words to defend myself either. So I can't be myself. I can't. And she has absolutely no idea how much of an earth angel she is. I mean, and how much she's been an earth angel. She has always made such a huge difference in my life. And she's one of the few people in the area, which is not just, 4 to 16 kilometers away. We're talking everyone I've met in Nouvelle-Aquitaine. She's one of the few that really sees me, or at least tries to, and treats me like a human. And I appreciate her. But I don't get to show her that because I don't have the words for it. And I don't have the words to share how important she is. So I got real lucky that she wanted to take me home. Because that meant I didn't have to walk the 7 kilometers back. That meant that I'll recover the damage to my hip and thighs much quicker. My feet won't be bad, and that also means I didn't have to do the moonwalk. Because when you have, a bag with a shit ton of weight in it, and then you have another bag, and you're constantly having to shift them as you're going 7 kilometers, even if you take those off and you take a break, by the time you walk those 7 kilometers and you strip everything off and you're just like, it's not a question of normal gravity. It's like moonwalking. You're like, wow, God. I'm trying to get, just the little that I did, just trying to, I got the groceries away and I got my stuff ready so I could come out here, and I'm grabbing the coffee that I keep in the fridge because I make pots after pots, and some of them I keep in the fridge and some of them I keep for heating up. And just grabbing the one from the fridge, and I'm like, do not break it. Do not break it, because my depth perception and feeling is just so off because gravity going forward is different. But the gravity weighing me down is not. So I got real lucky because it can do a lot of damage to me. And I'm grateful. And I wish I could talk with her daughter. Because her daughter is a teacher and teaches little ones English, and you have to have a decent level of English to be able to teach. So I wish I could talk with her daughter and be able to express just how much that woman really means to me. How much she touches my soul. Because it is so rare to find good people that just treat you like a decent human being. And, so yeah. So thankfully I'm not in a lot of pain, but I'm going to have to go out again. And I've got pain down my thigh, on both legs. Not exactly the sciatic nerve, but close. Yeah. So. But I did it. I got some of the groceries. And it was a good day. I liked the dog kiss. That was funny because he did. He jumped up and he wet nose with wet under chin from drinking water and just whoop. It was sweet. I like that. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing my adventure to Mordor. Hobbits have been fed.